Former President Donald Trump delivered a controversial speech in Mount Vernon, Virginia, during the American Cornerstone Institute's annual Founders Dinner. While addressing drug prices, he made inconsistent claims, stating, "We're bringing them down 13%, 1,000%, 200%, whatever." The remarks quickly drew attention for their incoherence and lack of factual basis, raising further questions about his health and cognitive state during the event.
Because I announced the amount, it was 1/4%. I was so proud. But now I'm going to bring them down 1,300%. Think of this. 1,000%, 500%, 200%, whatever, different. And I'm really proud of that.
While addressing drug prices, Donald Trump made controversial claims, including a 1,000% reduction, a figure deemed impossible as it would imply pharmaceutical companies paying the public. This adds to repeated accusations that he has misled on drug pricing. He then turned his remarks toward former President Joe Biden, using harsh language and declaring, "Never feel bad for Biden."
Very angry, mean Biden. You know, Biden was always a mean guy, but never a smart guy. You know, even you go back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he was a stupid guy, but he was always a mean son of a bitch, you know? How's it working? Not working too well for him right now, as it says. So when you start feeling sorry for him, remember, he was a bad guy.
During his speech, Donald Trump claimed that he once suggested to King Charles of the United Kingdom that he should adopt the title Charles the Conqueror. According to Trump, King Charles declined, replying, "I don't want to do that." The unusual remark drew attention, as it involved a former U.S. president publicly recounting private exchanges with the British monarch.
Right? But 990, and the name of the king at the time was William the Conqueror. I said, that's the coolest name I've ever heard. William the Conqueror. And he built this massive castle, and he was known for winning wars. It's very interesting. In fact, I asked King Charles, "Why do we call you Charles the Conqueror?" He said, "No, I don't think so. I don't think so." But he's a great guy, and he's doing a great job, an unbelievable job. But the 250th anniversary,
Donald Trump returned to the issue of drug prices, making more controversial claims, such as potential reductions of 500 or even 600%, figures experts say are unrealistic. He compared UK and US costs, asserting that a drug priced at $88 in London was being sold for as much as $1,300 in America, emphasizing, "Think about it." Unusually, he then shifted to a personal anecdote, referring to a fat, obese friend and quoting what that friend supposedly told him, drawing further attention to the off-script remark.
You're going to see the biggest cuts in drug prices, which is going to be great for every aspect: Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, everything. It's going to have numbers. I mean, we're going to literally be cutting prices by 500%, 600%. Drugs that sell for $88 in London are selling for $130. You know, think of it, $1,300 for, I call it the fat killer. I don't know if it works or not, but it didn't work for a friend of mine who called me. He said he's a very successful guy, seriously obese, seriously, highly neurotic, but a brilliant businessman. You need those qualities sometimes, you know?
Donald Trump went on to make another unusual remark, claiming that U.S. soldiers had picked up trash in Washington, D.C. because they love to pick up trash. The statement stood out as an odd diversion from the political issues typically addressed at such public events.
I thought I was going to replace the grass all over. This grass looked good. It looks so good. And, you know, we actually had soldiers. You saw them. We didn't tell them to do this because we don't want to tell them. They were picking up trash. Did you see that? They were picking up trash. The National Guard, these great military people, the job they did has been unbelievable.
In another controversial remark, Donald Trump claimed he was receiving calls and statements over the internet, including messages from people in Memphis thanking and cheering for soldiers. His repeated reference to calls over the internet made the anecdote confusing, once again raising questions about his clarity and mental state during the event.
And I want to thank the National Guard and all of those federal law enforcement people that have surged Washington are now surging Memphis right now as we speak. By the way, we're getting calls over the internet. We're getting statements. Sir, thank you so much. I live in Memphis. It's so beautiful. There's so many people outside. Everybody's cheering the soldiers. They're cheering. Thank you so much, sir.
Speaking at the American Cornerstone Institute Founders Dinner, Donald Trump declared that there are only two genders, stressing that this was an important point to make at the event. He further stirred controversy by alleging that they're obsessed with penises and vaginas, a remark considered unusual and provocative.
But that's good. That means we're doing the right thing. I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders. I think Jim DeMint will like this. Men and female. Are you okay with that, Jim? I don't know. I think Jim's very upset about that. Who the hell can be upset?
In another controversial statement, Donald Trump pledged to bring gas prices down below $2. However, he had recently claimed that gas prices were already below $2. The inconsistency drew criticism, with observers noting that his remarks were misleading and reflected a pattern of false claims about energy costs.
The Americans are spending the least amount of their disposable income on gasoline since it's about 20 years. For 20 years, we're spending, and we have the number down. I think we're going to be breaking $2 a gallon for gasoline.
In an unusual moment, Donald Trump addressed an audience member named Marty, repeatedly insisting that the autism announcement must be made on Monday, not Tuesday. The remarks left the audience puzzled, as it was unclear what announcement he was referring to or why he emphasized the point so insistently.
And I think we have, frankly, that's a big announcement. I think we have a bigger announcement coming. I hope on Monday, Marty. It's enough. We have to announce. We have to make the announcement. It's so big. We can't let people keep doing this. I don't want to wait any longer. We don't need anything more. And if it's wrong, it's right. It's not going to be wrong. But if it is wrong, it's fine that we have to do it, because we're going to have an announcement on autism on Monday. Got to be Monday. I don't want to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think it's going to be a very important announcement. I think it's going to be one of the most important things that we will do.
Donald Trump drew further attention by declaring that he would send the military into Chicago. The statement immediately stood out, as it suggested the use of armed forces domestically, a highly sensitive and controversial topic in U.S. politics.
We're restoring law and order to our cities and towns at levels that nobody's ever seen, and wait till you see. And I must say, our next one is a place called Chicago. We're going to go into Chicago. And we've already, the FBI's been there for 6 months and, and just getting prepared. And just the fact that they've been there for a little while, we've got it down a little bit. But it's going to come down a whole lot. Chicago is going to be a very safe city. I was with the...
In a controversial remark, Donald Trump declared that Washington, D.C. was great because we've got rid of the scum. The harsh wording quickly drew attention, sparking debate over his use of divisive language to describe people or groups in the Capitol.
That's not happening anymore. We have a safe city. The scum is gone, and I'll tell you, it's going to get, I don't know how much better it can get. They said, we're down 87% crime. I said, really? Who are the 13%? Tell me. Nobody can find the 13%. No, you go and have dinner. The restaurants now, they were closing up. Very few people went to restaurants, because even to go to the restaurant was dangerous, because guys would walk in with guns and rob everybody. It ain't happening anymore. You have a safe city, 100% safe city.
Donald Trump stated, "Our country is strong and proud. We will not have an Afghanistan event." The comment drew criticism, as he had previously suggested the U.S. military could return to Afghanistan, and in 2020, he negotiated directly with the Taliban without the Afghan government's involvement. Notably, that agreement was signed on the anniversary of 9/11.
About it, we're ensuring that when that anniversary does come, our country will be a very strong, proud country. We're not going to have Afghanistan events, the most embarrassing event in the history of our country. Our people will be proud, our communities will be safe, our culture will be thriving. will be respected all over the world. We are right now.
Donald Trump drew attention once again by recounting an unusual story about pilots who, he said, looked like actor Tom Cruise. He went on to claim that Tom Cruise had been very nice to him during a phone call. The remark stood out for its odd and unexpected nature, diverging sharply from the political themes of his speech. According to Donald Trump, he once tried to honor actor Tom Cruise at the Kennedy Center Honors, but Cruise declined the gesture. The anecdote added another unusual twist to his speech, mixing political commentary with entertainment industry stories.
And when the pilots went in, they came into the office and I met them, and they're all great-looking guys. They look like Tom Cruise. Actually, they look like Tom Cruise, but they're all great-looking guys. I would have said Tom Cruise, but, you know, he called me about something recently. He was such a nice guy. I'm not going to say it. I'm just saying he's a hell of a looking guy, but these people are great.
During his remarks, Donald Trump repeatedly referenced Hunter Biden, underscoring what appeared to be a fixation on the current president's son. This has remained a recurring theme in his political attacks.
I think the only one he actually signed was Hunter's pardon was actually signed by him. You know how you can tell? It was like chicken scratch. My father's, you want a real signature. This was like chicken scratch, like a little thing. The auto pen looked much better.
Donald Trump made another striking claim, stating that George Washington would have voted for me. The remark was widely seen as implausible and controversial, given that Washington, the nation's first president, died in 1799.
On the world stage, we're once again putting America first, and that's what we do. We put America, we'll help others, but we have to put America first. Exactly as George Washington would have wanted. He would have voted for us, George Washington. We had a man who rated me the #3 president of all time. He said only superseded by George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And the host of the show said, "Oh, are you in trouble? Trump is going to be so angry at you when he hears that he's #3. But we'll take that." I don't know how many have done that. He actually said, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald J. Trump. I said, I like that guy very much.
Just before the event began, Donald Trump sparked controversy. When asked what could cause TV stations to lose their licenses, he stated that criticizing Donald Trump was sufficient grounds for revoking a broadcaster's license. The comment was widely viewed as undermining press freedom and drew strong reactions.
You don't like the grounds for losing a broadcast license?
Well, I think when a network is dishonest, certainly if they are dishonest because they give you 97% bad publicity or whatever it is, some ridiculous number, yeah, I would say that would be grounds. Yeah.
So are you asking
Asked about sending troops to Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, Donald Trump issued a direct warning to the Taliban, saying they better give it to me, and adding a threat. Or else they're going to find out what I'm going to do. The remark drew immediate attention for its implication of military action and raised questions about his approach to foreign policy.
Are you asking President to rule out U.S. troops on the ground to get Bagram back?
We won't talk about that, but we're talking now to Afghanistan, and we want it back, and we want it back soon, right away. And if they don't do it, you're going to find out what I'm going to do.
So you want
That concludes our coverage of the event. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to help the channel reach 6 million subscribers. Thank you for watching.